My name is Jim Holiber, and I'm the General Manager and Corporate Counsel of Green Depot, which is a green building products distributor in the Northeast. We have nine locations, including one child. I'm also on the board member of the United States Green Building Council, the New York City chapter, which also incorporates Westchester County. And there's a lot of action going on. It's primarily focused in New York City, but I live in Westchester, and I want to get a book here as well, so let's go for it. This is a beautiful room, and the view is beautiful. It doesn't distract you from our presentation. Anyway, Green Depot, we sell green building products. We are trying to make it out in the general public so that it's a very easy transition for somebody to build green, selling anything from recycled content, sheetrock, to zero VOC paint, to carpeting, to just about anything that you need on your construction project. Our panel discussion is about green building and design, and my background again is on the product side. We've got a great mix of panelists here, starting with Christina on my left, Christina Griffin, who's a local architect, and next to her is Kris, who is a green consultant and consults on a lot of new buildings, and then we've got Justin Green, who this industry has been named after, who is involved with a company called Build a Green, and it's a very cool company. They go in and do demolition work, and then take whatever they can salvage, they warehouse it, and then they sell it to the general public. They're a nonprofit, and they're based out of Astoria, Queens. So I'm going to begin with my presentation. And what I try to do is give everyone an overview of the green industry and then some of the vetting process that Green Depot does to take a look at products, make sure that they work and they are what they say they are. This is just, I love this slide because it just shows us and all of you where the industry is headed. There's research available that by 2010 this is going to be a $200 billion industry. And I was in the industry about years ago, and it's just been soaring upwards like crazy. 3 years ago, I couldn't find products to sell. Now people are calling me, so it's really switching the world. And unfortunately, because of the skylight's beautiful view, the slides are a little faded. But what this shows is the return on investment. I think that a big part of why green is catching on is because people start that when they build something that's energy efficient and healthy. The energy efficient part, or the water conservation part, is actually saving the building owner some money. And being a society that live in, that is always catch up with So this basically, this chart shows that energy use in green buildings is down, it's at 26%. So the energy usage in green buildings is less than the baseline, 26%. CO2 emissions down 33%. Water usage down 3%. So it's really a proven fact that there might be some upfront costs involved in building a green building, but there's a return coming back to you, and it's usually spread out over a 5 to 10 year period. Okay, how much extra does it cost? There's all kinds of green buildings. You can have a LEED building, but you don't have to have a green building. LEED is just a certification process that helps the builder, the architect, the designer have a guiding of how to transform a building or create a new building that is green. So it gives you certain guidelines. So and this is probably one of the most stringent certifications that you can have green building. In fact, the New York City is starting to look very similar to what the LEED certification is. And so to be LEED certified, which is LEED certification, that's like the bottom level, we're estimating at around 10% increase from increasing cost from conventional. LEED certified today, and the goal is at 2% increase. And just to let you know where the industry is coming from, about 3 years ago, each one of these numbers were at least double that amount. But what's been happening is material costs are coming down because bigger manufacturers are mass producing things. The demand is picking up. So we're not dealing with a lot of startup situations. On the other hand, there are still a lot of startup companies. It's incredible, people coming out with new products all the time. And it's, so those things, there is a cost associated with starting up a product. But then it comes down as production increases. Next slide. What we have found as a distributor, and I've been in the building materials business for over 20 years, and trust me when I tell you that I was never able to get past the receptionist when I went to visit an architect, no offense. But they didn't want to really hear from somebody from a product's background. because they thought, you know, I was trying to sell them something, which I was. But you know, the only way I got in the door was if I had products that I could update their library. Now it's really changed. We are becoming much more part of the whole process and the build team of a project, because architects and designers need help in finding what products are out there, what products are going to give them the best lead points, what local products are out there. So the green industry has created a very big collaborative amongst build suppliers, architects, designers, contractors, engineers, and in the beginning stages of a project to really come together and share expertise to make, you know, they're given the task of, I want, you know, from the developer, I want you to build a green project. You know, what does that mean? Now they all have to figure it out, so they're coming together. Next slide. Now a little bit more on the products. We started out about 3 years ago, and it's kind of an interesting process because, you know, looking for green products, green mean. You know, some companies are saying their products are green, but they're not green. And, you know, how do you distinguish among them? And we found that a lot of consumers were really confused and really needed to be taught, you know, what products are all about. So you just continue clicking. There's different things. So what we do is we evaluate the product that we carry. First of all, we make sure that it works. If it doesn't work, then there's no point in even going beyond that. Assuming the product works, it's manufactured locally. We try to work with some local manufacturers, and a little bit later I'll get into some of that. But you know, very important to this whole thing. Stimulates the local economy. You're using less of a carbon footprint in trucking material. Is the product energy efficient? Does the product treat to better indoor air quality? Is it a resource? And for example, manufacturer, they practice some, you know, really environmental practices in their business. One of the other things that we try to do is provide a service called Flip Degree, where you have, you can take a blueprint, and what we've done over the past 3 years, every has some vision. We try to plug in box alternative that we can take a blueprint, and instead of, you know, adhesive that is highly toxic, and we have non-solvent adhesive, and so on and so forth. So we've done that in every category, and you know, here are just some sort of examples, like vinyl floor tile, very toxic. We have a natural linoleum tile made out of linseed oil, very effective. And you know, again, all these products work. Go to the next slide. So now I have a few slides of products. Been around for a long, long time. Nothing changed about them. They have very high content metal, except for usually prints on the websites. And you know, it's been around. There's no change. You know, what I'm trying to say here is that, you know, everybody's got a green project. What does that mean? Is it like a different animal? It's really not a different animal. It's really, there's everything that you're used to working with is you can find a green solution. Stone countertops made in Brooklyn, New York. It actually recycled glass. That's in cement. Cement, they dye in different colors and so forth. Some has cradle-to-cradle certification. Great local company, and you know, we supply their product. Yes. Paint, the paint line that we created, working with local manufacturers. Before, we were buying paint from the West Coast. By the time the West Coast, you know, it costs much more money to get it for free. It costs different now. Plus, the time traveling from west to east, you've got a freeze issue. So we work with the local guy. This is a zero VOC paint. Colors and usage are the same as any other paint. You know, we think it's very exciting. So in sum, this whole green movement has, you know, some three different main categories of benefits. Environmental benefits. We're all interested in the environment, and especially with all the talk of global warming and all the issues that we're seeing and experiencing right now. There are also economic benefits, but I think, again, has largely played a role in getting this movement off the ground. And health and community benefits. Our health, putting aside the operational costs of the green building, I think that a very, very important part of this whole building and design is the impact that indoor air quality has on our lives, and the fact that green buildings create better, cleaner air inside. I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you don't realize that on the smoggiest day in New York City, There's reports that indoor air quality, when you're inside, the air quality is actually worse inside than it is outside. It's a big issue. It's a big issue with health and asthma and so forth.